Okay, good morning and welcome to day number... I didn't learn 16. Hold on. Okay, day number 16. Today I am going to try to do some hip openers. I want to open up these hips so bad, and I'm sure you guys do too because it's been a minute. And the ankle's feeling good. I have the brace on today. And so we'll see. I might ice it immediately afterwards, but we're gonna try some, maybe not some, we'll figure it out. We'll play with it. I did wash my hair. Thank you for noticing. What else did I want to say that I said yesterday? That's where today has been, you guys. Like every day feels like a week. But it's been really fun. I had coffee this morning, so I don't usually do that. So I'm like all over the place. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in child's pose position. So knees nice and wide, big toes together, tops of the feet on the floor. I have a little variation here. And then slowly start to walk your hands or slide your hands all the way down till your forehead is on the floor. And believe it or not, child's pose is a really good beginning hip opener here. So just as you slowly get your hips down to your heels, making sure your knees are nice and wide and just breathing into that area, really imagining your hips opening. And breathe. Beautiful. Nice, and let's go ahead walking ourselves up into a tabletop position. We are going to go for some downward dogs today. So tuck your toes under, press the ground away, send your hips back over your heels, and start to lift your hips up to the ceiling. And starting to feel the stretch in the calves already. This is good, you guys. We have good progress. Pressing one heel down to the ground and the other. Breathe. And let's go ahead and shift forward into that high plank position. Core nice and tight. And then hug your elbows in. Drop your knees to the ground. Slowly lower. Chaturanga. Pause. And then inhale. Low cobra. Pinch your shoulder blades together. If you release your hands, you should stay in the same spot. And then exhale up to knees, tuck your toes, downward dog. And breathe. One heel down to the ground and the other. Let's do that one more time. You can take the variation or you can take the full expression. So coming up into that high plank, core tight, hug your elbows in and either lower your knees or chaturanga, nice and slow, pause. And then either, can't do that yet, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and bring the right foot in front. So lift that right foot up into a three-legged dog. We've done this before. And then go ahead, come to your tippy toes of your left. Then we're going to bend the right knee, keep your core tight, core, slow core. Place that foot in between your hands. Oh, it feels so yummy. So good. Bum, bum, so good. Bum, bum, I got you. Bum, 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 bum. Ow! Just breathing here. We go back and forth. And let's go ahead and just take that foot back into a downward dog. How about that? Let's do the same thing with the other side. We'll see if I can do it. We're going to inhale, take the left leg up. So good so far. Tippy toes with the right foot. Not going to do that one on mine. But then bend your knees, core tight, core. Send that foot between the hands. And again, just swaying back and forth. Ooh, what was that? We've been having spiders in the house, you guys, so I'm a little bit paranoid. I just saw a speck in my hair and I was like, is that a spider? Just breathe here. Breathe. I told you when I have coffee, it's like a whole other alien comes out. And let's press back into that downward dog. Beautiful. And let's go ahead. We're going to go with the right leg forward again. So bringing your right leg up to the ceiling. Left foot tippy toes. Bend the right knee as you core, knee to nose, knee to nose, knee to nose. Place that foot in between your hands. And then we're going to pivot into our Skandasana. Pivot. And so it's like a side lunge. So make sure your right leg, it should be, is going, your toes are facing kind of the upper left corner of the mat, and your knee is going over those toes. Pressing into that knee. All four corners of both feet are on the ground. And press up into a wide-legged stance. I don't think you can see me anymore, but we're in a wide-legged stance, hands on your hips, pigeon toe your feet a little bit. This is so good. And then hinge at your hips as you fold forward. Maybe place your hands on the ground. Breathe here for a moment. We're going to stay here for a second. Maybe every exhale lowering a little bit more. Maybe bringing forearms to the ground. Rocking forward a little bit so you're almost coming onto your tippy toes. Woo, fun. And pressing the ground away. Hands at the hips. And then slowly hinge all the way back up. Adjusting your feet so your toes are going out, heels are coming in, then coming down into Skandasana on the left side. Ooh. Ankle doesn't like that one yet. So ideally, heels and toes down, all four corners of both feet. One day. Pressing into it. And then rotating, but use caution with your knee as you bring yourself into a lunge over that left foot. So we're facing maybe the back side of the room for some of you. And breathe here. And then send it back into a downward dog, facing the back of the mat. And breathe. And we're going to roll forward into a plank. Hug your elbows in, core tight, engage your legs, slowly lower, chaturanga. And inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now bringing the left foot in between the hands, core tight, taking the left foot up to the ceiling, tippy toes of the right foot, bend that left knee as you keep your core nice and tight, 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 tight. And bringing that foot in between your hands. From here, we're going to drop the back knee to the ground. Sit your hips back. Start to straighten out that front leg. Toes, flex them towards your shins. One shin. And breathe. And let's go back into a lunge. Maybe putting your hands on your hips. And back, straighten out that leg. Do that one more time, all the way forward into the lunge. And back. And back into a lunge, bringing up that back knee, pivoting into Skandasana on the left side. And breathe. And pressing up. Coming into that wide-legged stance, pigeon toe your feet a little bit. Hands on your hips, tilt your pelvis with your hands, stick your butt out, lead with your chest to the ground, and fold. Wherever you end is completely fine. You can always grab each elbow and sway if you'd like. Make sure to breathe in and out through your nose. Beautiful. One side and the other, or you can stay still, doesn't matter. It's completely up to you, it's your practice. And when you're ready, press the ground away, get the straight arms, and then hands on the hips as we hinge all the way back up. Now from here, bring the heels in and toes out, but maybe bring your feet a little bit closer, just a smidge. And then we're gonna bend the knees and maybe put your hands on your knees, and you can push into one knee then the other, or you can do forearms in the knees and just sit low and maybe rock side to side. Whichever one you prefer, there's no right or wrong, just whatever feels best for you. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Maybe do both of them. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, straighten the legs, widening your stance just a little bit, and then coming down into that Skandasana on the right side, side lunge. Whew, this one has less range of motion. And when we're ready, watching your knee as you pivot over that heel into a regular lunge. Drop the back knee. We're going to do the same thing on this side as we straighten out that front leg, toes coming to your heels. Fold. Breathe. And back into that lunge. Press into that hip or that knee. Exhale. Straighten out that leg, fold. And come forward into that lunge. Exhale, fold. Last one. And back into that lunge, bringing up that back leg. And then sending that leg back into our downward dog. Beautiful. And dropping our knees down nice and wide. Now here's a fun one. We're going to go into frog pose. So if you have carpet, that will be really helpful. If this hurts your knees at all, you can go sideways on the mat like this. That way you have extra padding. But we're going to get our knees as far apart from each other and maybe bringing our forearms on the ground. Our feet are just going to be straight back from our knee. Really opening up the hips. And you can play with how this feels. You can rock forward. If you rock all the way forward, you're actually going to have a sway in your low back, so don't go too far that way. Pressing back, whoo, really feeling a pull. And breathe. Some people hate frog pose. Others love it. It is a love-hate relationship for sure. Just keep breathing. Couple more seconds. In and out through the nose. Maybe find stillness. Ten. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pressing up with your hands, bringing your knees closer, toes together. Sit your hips back over your heels, going into child's pose. And breathe. And slowly walking your hands all the way up, seated on your heels. Okay, that's it for today. Okay, thanks for joining me, you guys. I'm so excited to figure out what I can do now and kind of play with my own mobility, and I hope you guys felt the same way. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, please let me know. Please let me know what you think of frog pose. Put it down in the comments because I'm very curious if people love it or hate it. Okay, I will see you tomorrow for day number 17. I haven't learned that yet, but I will. Bye, guys. Okay, let's make sure all of that is gone.